Look out. What do you mean?
God,
The innkeeper told me we should move the sacks.
So what are you waiting for? I'm bored to death already. I'll move each sack so you can get a better grip on it. But don't expect no more from me. God bless you.
How's life treating you?
You're not the fella who's supposed to carry the sacks, are
Isn't
you?
half heavy. Oh.
How are things at home? Calm down a bit?
Aye, the celebration is over and done with.
Hold up. Am I supposed to open my... An ale, as usual.
Great price.
Plenty of bloody warlocks all around. What a waste of money.
Did you hear that the king himself? Everyone should have a good ball.
Which king would that be?
I don't know exactly. When the king commands, subjects have to obey. Don't they? The boy strikes it up to his knees. He forgets.
They found a dead body stuck in the wheel. The dead man had a gold chain around his neck. Can you believe it?
What a friend's
Someone
for if
bumped
not
him
to
off
help
and
each
didn't
other.
even rob it.
Right. It's a deal.
That is strange.
Go ahead and tell
I
Frank
reckon
to
something
back it,
devilish
too.
was involved. You don't see something like that every day.
I'd like a beer.
Certainly did not. Yes, he did. I never heard of any Perkstein in all my years.
I'm not surprised. You're just a village yokel.
How dare you? I am the son of the bailiff.
Innkeeper, have you got anything
I heard
to
about
eat?
the attack by the pond, actually. I heard it was a massacre, and none of the strangers survived.
That was our company. But the two of us managed to get away. It was the same bandits who attacked Lord von Bergov's men. Why the fuck doesn't anyone believe us?
Maybe because you've got no way of proving it?
We lost everything. How hard is that to understand?
What if you're one of those bandits, and you're up to no good? We should kick both of you out, just to be on the safe side. You ain't got no proof to back up what you say.
Proof? You want proof?
How's it
Aye.
going? My wife and I are
Right.
pickling cabbage.
Listen to this.
Loads of it.
Ei
Again?
incumbit probatio.
That's what you said last
qui
week.
dicit
And the one
non
before
qui
that.
negat.
It's good for you.
Is that
Pickled cabbage drives out the black bile and puts your fluids in balance.
You know what fluids?
Saturn
No.
and Jupiter are in
And
a
I
bad
doubt you do
constellation
either.
at the moment.
The burden of proof
That turns
is on
off
the
the
one
black
who
bile
declares,
and makes you
not
ill.
on the one who
You
denies.
idiot. You've been
So you
hanging
see?
around with Miller
I speak
Crazel
like
again, haven't you?
I've
And what
just
if I
proven
have?
to you that I'm a
He
noble.
may be a bit odd,
You
but everything he
prove
says
fuck
is true.
all.
The other day,
Remembering
he told
some
me to
words
give the
you heard in
cows
church
dark ale to
doesn't make
drink.
you a noble.
What? You didn't actually do it.
Laugh all you like. But if I told you they gave 3 times as much milk afterwards, you still wouldn't be impressed.
What did you say? Say it again.
It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? Or what the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
You're the fool here.
You're gonna start as well?
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Did you hear what that lying nobody wants?
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Didn't you hear? Apologize to him.
Oh no! Reinforcements! I'm so scared! Take your numbskull friend and get out of our village. Right now!
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me? Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on then.
You scum!
Go to hell!
That fella, he's the one.
Nice strike! Fucking hell! He knows how to sword fight! Good!
No, you don't.
Back your ass off!
You leave me no other choice.
I hope he doesn't hurt anyone else.
Nice strike! Nice hit! You're no match for us, fucker!
Show what you made of!
These days, no one ever really Wanker! Now you're mine, you bastard!
Had enough, donkey!
You want to try me?
Take that! Fuck you!
Help me! Let him have it!
You have you shit! You haven't
No, rip your ass
Live
open!
like a wretch, and now...
I
hope he doesn't hurt anyone else.
Chaser! What do you want?
I'll show you how a real
Nice
knight
hit.
fights.
Why?
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly.
Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
What?
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak...
Oh. You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle. But no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since, and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh, yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off.
Shut up, or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the only one of us with any sense. I'm not the one who acts like a spoiled child.
Spoiled child? You're in danger of crossing the line, Henry. Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
I was just defending you. Should I have let that fop beat you senseless?
I only wanted him to apologise. I'd expect my right-hand man to argue my case a bit better.
What do you think I was trying to do? Ah, what an idiot I was to stand up for you.
And what good did it do? Fuck all! If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
That's enough! Don't you fucking realise how badly you've been wronging me all this time? I bend over backwards for you, I tolerate all your stupid fucking whims, and what do I get? Insults and accusations. But right from the start you acted like you were on some nobleman's outing. All you cared about was whoring and boozing. You know full well the ambush was your fault, and now you're kicking out so you don't have to admit it.
What do you...
But let me finish. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth like you, but unlike you, I'd have managed to deliver that message. And that's because I'm responsible and know how to behave in a way that doesn't make me feel ashamed. In a way that would make my parents proud of me.
Which parents do you mean? Radzig?
Aye, Radzig, let's say. Nobody could be proud of you, Capon. Nobody.
We'll see who's proud of who.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that...
Otto.
Hey! Go!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Bergov at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good-for-nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find mutt without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Henry? Aye. You're in the right place. Over here? Are you going to just stand here like a statue? You've got time, right? You don't look like you're in a rush anywhere.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskovitz.
You don't have to thank me. I could have done without it. And that fracas in front of the tavern as well.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side. Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary or help in the tavern, but I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller or a nomad, but don't say it too loud. The locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-arsed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
What armour are you talking about? Sir Brunswick?
Oh, nothing. It's just a local legend. They say a famous knight lived here who killed a ferocious lion and saved a many-headed dragon. Or the other way round. It doesn't matter. I don't even know.
And is the armour real?
Maybe. Maybe not. Guybel, the scribe, might know something about it. He has a lot of learned books. I don't know my letters.
I'd prefer something a little more ordinary. I'd like to blend in with the locals and not attract attention.
That's a pretty good idea. Tailor Bartoszek would probably throw you out of the shop. But if you can get by with things that are, let's say, slightly worn, then I could help you.
Thanks. These'll come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
I really need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semi. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout you was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
All right.
Good day to you.
I'll have a look at the...
Maybe next time then.
Lob sei Gott.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
Then where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Katchak pond, beyond Jelioff. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too. But what can I do? So, what will it be?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others? They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here, and Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around, Trusky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh, yeah. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Catharinen. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
I'll have a look at... I'd like to do something about...
Gut.
Do we have a deal?
You won't convince. Nein, so bestimmt nicht. I'm done haggling. Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Hail Mary. What will it be? I'll have a look.
I'd like to discuss the... Well, of course.
you accept, you'll have... You see? Thank you. And...
I'd like to report an ambush. Some scoundrels attacked my lord's retinue and killed our men.
That's a serious matter. Where is your lord?
Well,
I don't understand why he's not lodging a complaint himself, and why not directly at the castle. He has that right as a lord.
It's a long story. My lord got very angry and then went missing.
Sorry, fella, but I'm not sure whether you're making it up or lying to me. But if you were telling the truth, why don't you bring your lord here and we can talk it all over calmly? I'm sorry, lad, but until then, I've got more important things to do.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Gelievites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited. He said he found...
What do you mean?
That we found... I've been...
I'd like to buy something.
If it's a tradesman you're after, your best bet is to ask...
What would you like?
I met the local beggar. Barrow was her name.
She's here again? Oh, confound it. But we'll get rid of her somehow, you'll see.
What? But
You didn't give her any money, I hope? Rabble like that are like stray cats. Feed them once, and you'll never get rid of them.
No, she just told me you might know where I could get some armor.
Armor? Unless you want to join the local watch, I don't think I can help you. Unless, maybe, Radovan, the blacksmith from Takhov. We might sell you something.
But Barrow told me you might know of something better. The armor of some Brunswick?
Oh, that? Lad, 'tis but a legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar out of you.
I beg your pardon?
All right. No need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
Damn. He didn't come back, did he?
Don't skip ahead. We'll get to that. Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup. So it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armour come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armour of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, and died on his way back to his king. Specifically, while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armour back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armour to the king.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armour, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armour. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armor here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight. Each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armor?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
Hang on, though. How come you never went looking for that armor yourself? Don't tell me you wouldn't be interested in such a valuable item.
What? Me? Go chasing around this bandit-infested land after some riddle? No thanks. Besides, God alone knows the truth behind it. It's said Sir Chenyek quarrelled with the king over the armor, but some fishwife might have made the whole thing up. And you won't find me betting my life on such a slim chance.
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Bloody hell. I think I know where it is.
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir George, who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And now go.
Halt! Search! Show me what you've got on you.
God be with you.
Go ahead and search me.
So then, search!
I've got nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm. Everything in order. Carry on. God be with you, my friend.
God be with you. What did I do to you?
to get a spade first.
Stop a while, my good man.
God be with you. I'll be glad to have a drink with you fellows.
That's precisely what young Petska and me are doing here. We like to roll dice too.
Oh, I'll be more than happy to play with you. But first, I need to know who you are.
No worries there. I'm Bohush. Me and Petska here are just honest-to-goodness labourers.
Not that it's any of my concern, but you don't look like labourers to me. What's with the weapons?
Well, the roads can be very perilous nowadays, so it's good to have a piece of steel for protection, right? Luckily, it usually only takes a well-aimed smack or a couple of punches, and I can lay anyone out with my bare hands.
You smell of horse sweat, yet I see no horses.
Look, no disrespect, we may not be labourers, true, but we're no crooks neither. In short, we look for horses, for a very well-heeled mistress. But only strays, that's all.
So, horse traders for hire?
Yeah, something like that. But we're pretty bored right now, and we're at a loose end.
I think I'll be going now, lads. Goodbye.
God be with you and travel safe.
I think I'll be going now.
God be with you and...
Look out!
God bless you.
Why the fuck is that sheep lying there? Ugh, it's starting to smell. And it's all torn up. Why do you have a dead sheep lying here?
It was those fucking wolves. They mauled it. And it was in lamb on top of that.
I was wondering why it's all torn up.
But I'll put an end to it. I got myself some poison. I'm gonna rub it all over the sheep and then leave it somewhere in the woods. That ought to make them lose appetite for my sheep.
Oh, damn. I don't want Mutt to get poisoned.
Mutt?
My dog. He ran away.
You better find him then, and soon. See you later, my friend. Yeah, real funny. Hey? Never mind. I thought it was something fishy. Yeah, really? Stop fooling around with those stones. What is it you need? Stop that whistling.
Nice horses you have there. Think they can carry one more?
These nags? Sure they can. Hop on.
I've had a bout of bad luck lately, so I bought a cow. I paid a pretty price for her, and the thing up and dies just a few days later.
It's kind of like me and my old woman.
Did she die too?
Well, no, but she stopped cooking for me.
How exactly is that similar?
Well, I suppose it isn't really. I've got a cow at home, and you don't.
Sacra. My horse is killing me. I've got to walk it off. Was that you? What happened to you?
I'm in big trouble.
How so?
I lost a letter. A very important letter. I was supposed to deliver it to my master by tonight.
What was in the letter?
I have no idea what it said. For one thing, it was a secret, and for another, I can't read. But it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Oh, so it could just as easily have been a lewd verse.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
Do you know where you might have lost it?
I haven't the faintest idea. It must have slipped out somewhere along the way.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
There's no point now. I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never make it by tonight.
You should have been more careful with it. Losing the one thing you're supposed to deliver.
I know. So I forgot to check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm fucked.
I have to be going. I hope you find the letter.
Me too. Because if I don't, I'm in for a lashing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait! I have an idea. Punch me in the face.
What?
Smack me in the gob. I'll say I was ambushed on the way and they took the letter.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'd rather take a couple of punches from you than a lashing from my master. I could tell you to stop when I've had enough. But he wouldn't. So you get why it's better for me to be slapped around by you, right?
Very well then. Defend yourself. Or not. It's up to you. You ready?
I am.
Oh! All right.
That was rough.
Do you think that's enough?
I definitely. I'm sore all over. Oh, my mouth most of all.
Glad to be of help then. Take care. Would you look at this? Somebody's boots floated away.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Greetings.
What did I do to you?
What did I do to you?
Shit!
Greetings to you.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
Would you happen to have a cheap horse for sale?
Well, I sell quite a few horses here, but by the looks of you, you must be talking about that grey nag, eh? But all she's good for are sausages. That old bitch won't let anybody touch her. I was already suspicious when that traveller sold her to me. He said he found her running about near the Rock Tower Pond.
Grey, old, and someone found her by the Rock Tower Pond. That's where we were ambushed. That's my horse. That's Pebbles.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Look, you know they attacked an entourage by that pond, right?
I heard about it. That news spread through the land like wildfire.
And the one who sold it to you told you he found it by the pond, right?
Well, he did, aye.
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me.
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for her.
Aye, but just a few groschen. You said so yourself. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her. Don't forget to get some proper tack as well. What is it? Are you whistling just for fun?
Easy, good horse.
God!
Ezmek mi yapasın?
Easy! Easy!
It's him! It's him!
You mean me?
Of course, who else?
So, tell me, what can I do for you?
Are you Henry of Skalitz?
Well, that I am. How do you know?
Everyone's been talking about you. But to see you with my own eyes, that's something else.
And who might you be?
I'm Valdemar.
Go on.
I wander the world in search of curiosities. I love hearing about them, and I enjoy talking about them.
What exactly are these curiosities you're so fond of?
Old Bram from Zheleyov keeps complaining about the folks from Tachov. If you go and see him, I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. But, well, he takes a bit of getting used to, though.
Oh? What do you mean?
You'll see. I mean, here.
Tell me more. What else have you seen?
If we meet again, I'll gladly tell you more. I'm not going to spill out all my stories at once, am I? Who knows? You might well run across some curiosities yourself in the meantime. I'll be seeing you, Henry. Take care and good night. Some other time, then. Mind where you're going!
God bless you.
Good evening. Do you need something?
Are you still looking for a helper, like you mentioned at the Troskovitz Tavern?
Hi, I am. I wasn't expecting you to actually show up. You young folks these days are all talk and no action.
Well, I'm not like that. I also heard you might be able to get me into the wedding.
Forget about the wedding for now.
You see, I'd really like to get into that wedding.
It's only natural to have dreams and desires at your age, lad. But don't get ahead of yourself. You wanted work. I'll give you work. You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
You don't have anything better? I can do other, more useful things.
Oh, that's nice and all, but there's only one thing I need from you right now, and that's hauling sacks of flour.
When there was no other way, I pickpocketed burgers. I could get, well, anything I wanted out of them. Even, a cow.
Are you sure she didn't follow you of her own accord? You being a bit of an ox.
Huh?
Ah, don't feel bad. Strong back can come in handy. Ideal for hauling sacks of flour.
Do you really have nothing better I could do?
I do, but only for people I know already. And you're not one of them.
All right. It's not like I have much of a choice, do I?
The sacks are in the barn, and the wagon is in front of it. I'll give you a groschen for every half dozen you carry. You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here, in the barn. But not on the sacks of flour. You understand? Or I'll tan your hide. Climb up to the loft with the others.
Oh, fuck me.
Careful what you wish for. Go on, get to work. God be with you.